All right, here we go. Carver and Lisi with you. College football picks for week number 8. Got to be kidding me. We're like more than halfway home here in the regular season, speeding towards the college football playoff. There's a lot to do today. We've got all the picks. We'll go over some of the other big games like we do every week here. Mike Carver with you, along with the encyclopedia of college football, the one, the only. Go for the 2, Joe Lisi. Hi, Joe.
Got a lot of Mo, baby. Got a lot of Mo. No lavalier Mike today. We got the big one. How about that?
No lavalier Mike today, he says.
No lavalier. Got the lavalier on.
No.
I got it. Let's go.
You're too
college
No.
football.
No lavalier Mike today. Joe, it's good to see you as always, my man. And we're going to get to the picks. We've got a lot to do. We're going to do kind of like what we did last week. We're going to do the college, then we'll do the NFL. Nice tight package for you here today on a Thursday. All right, Joe. 2 or 3 big picture things before we get to the picks from last week I want to talk to you about. Number 1, can you believe, and this is even before Franklin, I'll get to Franklin. I was stunned at how Indiana went. And we both liked Oregon last week. I liked them a little bit more than you, I think. But we both thought that Oregon was going to be able to take care of business. Joe, stunned at how Cignetti and the Hoosiers went into Autzen, and they controlled the game, Joe. It was an unbelievable performance by them.
Yeah, and when you just think about halftime adjustments and everything, everybody, I think, just expected Big Dan's Lanning, to come out and make those adjustments, and they couldn't do it. But credit Cignetti. I feel like they learned from last year. They're a little bit. I think Mendoza is better than Rourke was last year. And not to take away from Curtis Rourke, right. But I think they're a little bit better with Mendoza at the helm. He's a little bigger. He's a little more mobile. And defensively, what happened?
I said mobile. He's a little more mobile.
Oh, mobile.
Mobile. I usually say mobile.
I know. Shout out to Toronto. Hey, got the victory. Big win by the Blue Jays yesterday. 13-4. Did I watch it? Watch it
up with the baseball, huh?
Not a shot. I didn't watch any of it.
Okay.
Not even when the Yankees were in it. Nothing. You got nothing from me.
Well, now, do you, after that win, do you now consider Indiana serious contender to win the college football national championship? No. You don't. You're not there.
No shot.
No shot.
No shot. I said it. Me, not you.
Yeah.
No shot. I can't believe you have the holy war. You're going. That's the 8 o'clock kick. You're holding off for that. All right.
Okay. Joe.
All right, hero.
I know there's a lot of, and we're going to talk about it. There's a lot of huge SEC matchups on Saturday. There's a lot. Notre Dame and USC under the lights Saturday night in South Bend. But Joe, I got a soft spot for the Holy War, man. I love it. I really do.
Evan Dampierre rushing for $124 last week against Kenny's Dillingham and everything else, huh? That could be in my back pocket. They play Joey McGuire this week.
Yeah, no. I'm interested. There's a few spots. I was looking at the board last night and this morning, and I was getting my 7 picks in line, make sure I've got everything good to go, and I'm going, man, I think Joe's going to be on this week. I think Joe's going to be on that, and Joe's going to be there, and so I'm kind of interested to see where you're going to go with a few of these, Joe. Number 2, Franklin chopped Penn State. Now, amazing, Joe, in the fact that a month ago,
right.
In fact, I'll even go shorter than that. They were up 7 in overtime, right? I'm right about this, against Oregon at home. And if they win that game, Joe, theoretically, they're probably what? Maybe number 1, number 2, number 3. They're in the top 3 in the country. And now, a couple weeks later, the guys chopped, Joe. Get him out. Zip.
I find it interesting that everybody now is like feeling bad for the guy, or like, all he does is win. What are we doing? The guy sucked against top 10 competition. The guy sucked. He had better quarterback play at Vanderbilt with Jordan Rodgers than he's had in his tenure in Happy Valley. His best quarterback, you could argue, is Trace McSorley. And I've said this to Penn State fans. I love Penn State. I love the fact that it's a Northeast school. It's got great, rich tradition. But Joe Paterno ain't walking over there into Beaver Stadium anymore. You can't. We're going to run it. We're going to turn gold from granite. Well, it's not going to happen. Kids today want to challenge for national championships. And if you have the money and you're paying him $10 million to recruit, and he was a great recruiter, he couldn't recruit, though, wide receivers, and he couldn't recruit a quarterback in the Northeast at Penn State. And I'll take it a step further. Show me the elite quarterback that has come out of Penn State. Todd Blackledge, Saka. No, we could go through the list. Zach Mills, Darryl Clark, Michael Robinson, Christian Hackenberg, Trace McSorley. Where is the elite quarterback? And then I hear from all Penn State fans, Jahan Dotson. I love Jahan Dotson. Loved him, and the fact that offense didn't utilize him in the 8 or 9 overtime loss to Illinois is beyond me. Forget that. Where's the elite wide receiver for Penn State? O.J. McDuffie, Allen Robinson. Where is he? Where is the Jamar Chase, the Justin Jefferson, the OBJ? Well, tell me, where is it? Malik Neighbors, Brian Todd. They don't have it. How are you supposed to beat Ohio State? How? I mean, that's what you're paying them for. Give me a break. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
They're in the Big Ten. This isn't Northwestern. This isn't Purdue. Oh, what are we talking about here? Oh, all he did was win. Yeah, he won against garbage teams.
Joe's gassed up. I knew I'd get you going with that.
But am I wrong?
No.
I mean, think of Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. I mean, all of the greats, right, that came out of Ohio State. Michael Thomas back in the day for just wide receiver talent, right? And at least their quarterbacks were above average. Yeah. My point is, you have pedestrian quarterback play and pedestrian wide receiver talent. And outside of that, you're great in the interior and you could run the football. But you don't have, and I'm not discounting all the great running back talent like Saquon Barkley, but you're playing in the Big Ten and you have money behind you. You should be able to get a quarterback from California. I mean, Clemson got better quarterbacks than Penn State.
Yeah, it's true, Joe. It's very true. I'm sure he'll have a job next year. I'm sure because there's going to be a lot of openings and I'm sure somebody's going to go and get James Franklin at some point. Eddie Salazar says, my Penn State insider wants Urban. Yeah, I don't know.
Urban
Meyer. I don't know about that. You know the names, Joe. I mean, Matt Rule. I don't know. I'm interested to see where they go because there's going to be a lot of shuffling. That kind of leads me to the other thing I was going to get to you. And I could have probably saved this to win if one of us picks or when we pass through this Florida game this week. It is gutless, Joe. If you want to fire Billy Napier, fire him. Okay?
This guy's getting man walking.
To put that out and start leaking the news when they're going to have him coach this game on Saturday against Miss State. Like that's Joe. I hate this stuff. That's gutless. If you don't want the guy, chop the guy. Just like Penn State did. Just like Oregon State did. Just like we've had a bunch of coaches get chopped here. UCLA. You don't want the guy, Joe. Chop him. Having this all twist in the wind while the guy's got to go coach the team on Saturday. That I hate that stuff, Joe. And listen, it is what it is. College athletics, big money now. Blah 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 blah. They're waiting to go into a bye week. Shut up. That's gutless, Joe, to do that to Napier. Just fire him.
I agree. I mean, he should have been gone after the loss to A&M.
Sure.
I mean, you talk about one of the worst third down offenses in the country. 30%. Their only claim to fame came in the victory, quite ironically, against Texas. They converted 7 of 14. When you can't sustain drives with that offense, you're not going to score points. And the minute you fall behind, you lose games because they're not built to play from behind. They're built to dictate the tempo where they score first and they can rely on their defense. Right? Think about all the games. LSU fell behind. Defense kept a minute, couldn't pull it out. Miami, they were toe-to-toe. Defense kept a minute. Offense couldn't bail them out. right? USF, they had an opportunity to kick a game-winning field goal or a go-ahead score, couldn't do it. So there's 4 shots against elite opponents that are now in the top 25, and I'm including the A&M game,
Right.
where they didn't come from behind because of their offense.
Yeah.
Sorry, he should be gone too. No offense. He's a great recruit. He was a wide receiver coach or offensive on the offensive side of the ball for Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Okay, so where's the talent?
Look, you're right, Joe.
I mean, these guys, but you know what's
Franklin
crazy?
in Florida? Franklin in Florida, back in the SEC.
Come on,
I saw Virginia Tech.
Well, that would be good for him.
And I'll tell you who else is
Virginia
Tech
Tech doesn't have a lot of money.
I'll tell you who else is getting shot. That's Smith at Michigan State. Have you seen all the clips of him? Like you had the guy Valenti, who's a good host in Detroit, basically smashed the guy that he doesn't care about the program. He didn't understand what he was getting into. They had the clip of him at his own radio show last night, basically looking there like he's dead man walking. Like that's a spot you could see Franklin too, Joe, in staying in the Big Ten, going to Michigan State, rivalry there with Penn State. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for him to go.
But again, I'm sickened by, again, how these coaches, right? If you're getting me, I don't like to lose. I don't like to lose $1. I don't like to lose $10. I don't like to lose a gambling or lose a football game with predictions. That's just the way I'm built. If I'm playing my kids or somebody I know in PlayStation, I want to win. I don't care if the kid's 6 years old, right? I got whooped by a 12-year-old in NCAA, friend of the family. But that's besides the point. My point is, I don't like to lose. So how these coaches say, well, you know what? I'm a CEO. I'll worry. And I keep saying, you're trailing by 2 scores.
Right.
He's sitting there on the sidelines. You see the play clock go down to 0 on every single play. That alone drives me nuts. If I rip the freaking headphones off the coordinator, rip the play sheet out of his hands and say, get the hell out of here, you're fired. Because I don't understand the situational management of playing a game. I just don't. There's 7 minutes left. You're down 10 points. Okay, you're taking 6 minutes off the clock. In a perfect scenario, how many times do you think you're going to get the football?
Yeah.
They're dummies.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's true.
I got ripped, Ripper. I was LSU. The kid was Penn State with Drew Aller. It was horrible.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
It was bad.
Joe, here we go. Week 8. College football picks for Carver and Lisi. Let's see where we're at, Joe, as we get going here this week. And just give me a moment. I want to get my, we got to put the graphics crew.
Everybody's a guru now. I love this. Everybody's a guru with the college picks.
Everybody's a guru. Look at this. Joe still 627 here, 37-22 after a 4-3 week last week. Now, 3-4 for me. Now in the NFL, I can't wait to get there because I have started to get the train rolling with 3 straight 3-1 weeks. I'm back in the mix in the NFL. But in college, I've still got a lot of work to do. 13 games back, 24-35. I had a really bad start, and now I've just kind of been treading water the last couple of weeks. But as we get ready, Joe, a monster Saturday, huge games across the country. Really, I mean, Joe, that SEC triple header is unbelievable.
Can't wait.
I told you Notre Dame game, the Holy War. You have just got a lot of really big games on the card. So what we'll do is, like last week, we'll go through our picks, and then we'll run through rapid fire any other games of importance that me and Joe don't have on our card. Joe, pick number 1 for Week 8. Get us going.
I gotta go to Tempe. I'll tell you what.
Wow.
And I know a lot of people
going after Joey for all this stuff he's been saying. Credit these guys are great. I mean, guys, you're going after McGuire here, Joe. I like this. This is nice.
So they've done a fantastic job, and amazing enough, I haven't really percolated with the success of Texas Tech this week or overall. Okay, so let me just say this. Their defense is playing lights out, holding opposing offenses less than 3 yards per carry. Defensively, the best unit in the Big 12. And we've seen them rip Utah and Salt Lake City. Typically under Joey McGuire, they're not a very good road team. They're doing it this year, and I'll give them all the credit. But in years past, they have struggled in big spots on the road. They go on the road to Tempe against Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State. And I know Jeff Sims sucks. and he was atrocious against Utah. But again, I think from a mindset perspective, they were a little bit checked out. I do like the fact that Dillingham, love him as a big game coach, took accountability. He said, I have nobody else to look at in the mirror but me. This line opens up because of the unavailability potentially of Sam Levitt. We see 11.5. We're now seeing 8.5. Whether Sam Levitt plays or not, I still think this is a tough game because two factors. Dillingham 9-0 at home over the past 2 years, and that front seven's only given up $111 on the ground. I know they got ripped by Dampierre. Hammond and Baron Morton are just drop back passes. RPO is not going to kill them. I'm taking the 8.5 points. Give me Arizona State. I don't know if they win it, but I think this is going to be a much more difficult game than people think. I'm taking Arizona State.
The impassioned Kenny Dillingham early in the week with it's on me, coaching's on me, I got to get guys ready. Dillingham always goes to the podium, Joe. We like that about him too. Good job there. All right, I'm going to start slow, Joe, because I'm sure we're going to get to some of these bigger games as we get down the pike. I'll give you kind of an off-the-wall one to kick things off.
Go ahead.
I can't believe I'm picking this game to
Yeah,
start. The Battle of the Northeast Corner, UConn and Boston College.
Oh, are you really? Come on.
Noon East kick. Boston College dominates UConn in the series, Joe. It's just the way that it goes. And how about this? UConn's 3-3 this year. I mean, they lost to Delaware. They've had.
Yeah, what do you expect, though, in that?
BC 1-5.
Yeah.
Small favorite at home. BC's looked awful, Joe, but they're favored in this game by 1.5. I'm sniffing this one out, Joe. Give me Boston College. Give me your boy there to try to circle the wagons, O'Brien, and get things going again. You got to beat the rival, right? The Northeast rival. You got to win that game. Boston College -1.5. Little off the wall, Joe, to start you off in week number 8.
You're taking Boston College. I've been on Boston College. You're taking UConn or BC.
I'll take it BC. BC -1.5.
Good luck and God bless, as they say. Okay, because I've been on BC against Pittsburgh. They did me rotten. I thought they would step up, but coming off that emotional
Pitt came through for you last week. Pitt came through in
Tallahassee. Let me tell you, that's good. So I would stay away. But, if anything, I hope you get it. 4 straight losses. Bill O'Brien, to even be mentioned back for the Penn State job is crazy. But that's besides the point. The fact that he was on that list that you sent me is absolutely crazy. Yep. All right, so pick one for Arizona State. It's a mortadell. The mortadells are coming, baby. We were 3-1 with mortadels. There's a big game in that at 12 o'clock noon.
Going right after it.
And this Diego Pavia is licking his chops, baby. I know he single-handedly hurt the cover against Alabama. They were there. Now they're favorite against LSU. LSU doesn't have offense.
40s?
1948. This line was 8.5. How do I know? Because I bet the 8.5 last year in Baton Rouge.
Oh, in 1948, you bet it?
No, I bet it last year in Baton Rouge. LSU was an 8.5 point favorite. They won it by 7 on a very controversial call. Aaron Anderson caught the football in the end zone, right? They took 47 minutes to freaking review it, and they called it out of bounds when clearly he had possession. That 4 points mattered. Diego Pavia comes right down, and they they score and cut it to 7. I should have won that game. LSU has won 10 straight in the series. They've won the last 4 by an average margin of victory at 23.2 points per game. It's a mortadell. They're not going to Nashville to lose. Screw Diego Pavia. I don't care if Vanderbilt's blue collar. LSU is more blue collar. Outright. Outright. Go Tigers. Outright. Outright mortadell.
For the sake of the show, LSU plus 2.5.
For the sake of the show.
For the sake of the show, LSU plus 2.5. I tell you, Joe, I kind of like the under in that game, 48.5.
Again with the under.
Not on the card.
You and the under with the
every LSU
you're killing
game.
me. You're killing me with the under. I should have had the over last week. 3 trips inside the red zone.
Sellers, you got all pumped up with, and by the way, I went and took that too off of your recommendation. I played that on Saturday.
That's why I lost. That's why I lost.
I played that over on
That's why.
Saturday
Now
night.
it all comes out.
That would how it all starts to come out. All right, you want to go SEC, Joe? I'll go SEC. This is actually also kind of earlier in the day, not one of the bigger ones, but I am going to go here. Oklahoma off the loss in the Red River shootout to Texas makes the trip to South Carolina, and of course Beamer and Sellers and the crew. This is one of these spots, Joe. I could see Oklahoma off a loss walking into a bad situation. I don't know if Oklahoma's as good as they got pumped up before the Texas game, being a top 5, top 10 team. Last year around this time is when South Carolina started to turn the corner and finish really strong. I'm going to take South Carolina as the home dog, Joe. Plus 5.5 for Beamer and the Gamecocks. Maybe they don't win the game, but I think that it's going to be kind of ugly with the Sooners on the road, and I'm going to go take it. South Carolina plus 5.5. Pick number 2 for me.
Not a bad pick. I was thinking about South Carolina. I will say Sellers got absolutely abused by the defense in LSU.
And
They
Oklahoma's got a good D.
Yeah,
Oklahoma's got a good D, but still.
We'll see. All right, I'm going to go to the ACC.
Okay.
Mortadell. It's a rematch of the ACC championship game.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, so I look, I know Clemson's got a little bit of mojo and they're starting to hammer teams. I get that. But SMU is not Boston College in North Carolina. And I know SMU, to me, is not as good as they were last year when they had Brashard Smith and they had all those players. But to me, in a rematch type of situation, 9.5 point favorites, I think it's way too much. I think Rhett Lashley's a good enough coach. I do think, if you think about it, what they did in the second half, I think they'll learn from that in the championship game. I'm going to take the Mustangs plus the 9.5. I just think they're going to – it's revenge. They know what they're up against. I don't think Clemson's all that great. And I'm going to take the points with the Mustangs on the road here.
Now, I heard you say 9.5.
Yeah.
I see 5.5 at FanDuel right now.
Okay,
so I know that's what we usually use. That's a very big difference from what you thought you were taking. I'll give you the option here if you don't want that now.
No,
that's a big change.
It must have been 9.5 when I looked at it earlier. Meaning not yesterday. I looked at it earlier. It didn't matter. To me, I haven't kept up with today's odds and stuff.
Yeah, 5.5. I've got it.
That's fine. Marking at 5.5. It's not a Mortadell, but we'll keep it at 5.5.
Okay, we'll keep it there.
Sure? I have others that I want to go, but I still think again revenge spot. I think SMU comes to play. Okay. I do feel we get this total 51.5.
Okay,
just because again. Clemson's offense has been juggernauting a little bit, and I think SMU could score on them.
All right, I'll stay in the ACC as well, Joe. I'm going to go to now this is, look, you know how I operate. This is almost a blind bet system play that I have to go to. Number 12, Georgia Tech, visiting Duke. Noon East kick coming up on Saturday. Duke minus 1.5. Here we go. The system play. The unranked team favored at home against the ranked team. Now, I took Duke in this spot early in the season against Illinois, Joe. It didn't go very well for me. I'm going to go back to them here. We've gotten a couple of these the last few weeks. They've been pretty good to us. More of a blind, but I think Georgia Tech's very good. And look, I got to win the game really to get this. It's 1.5. This is a really tough spot. But I got to go with it, Joe. It's a blind play. Duke minus 1.5, the system play over Georgia Tech.
I think they're a little bit more physical than G-Tech. I was on G-Tech last week. I think G-Tech's offensive line can run it on anybody, but their defense had some weaknesses against an inept offense in Kyron Drones. They allowed that team back in the game at some point, and that cover was definitely in jeopardy in the fourth quarter. So it's not a bad look. The only thing that would scare me is the Manny Diaz to Penn State. Is he buying into all this and checked out again from that perspective?
He should stay right there.
He should.
He's done big time college football at Miami, and it didn't go well for him.
Right.
He's in a nice spot, Joe, where if he can win his 7+, 8+ games a year, they're never going to want to get rid of him. They want stability. Now, look, it's hard to say all that, Joe, when somebody comes with a barrel full of money. It's hard. It's hard to turn them down.
Right.
But we shall see with Manny Diaz going.
All right, I got another dog. I really like this.
Wow, 4 dogs already for you this week,
Yeah.
huh? Bark for Joe. Give me it.
I love Arkansas too.
Ooh.
I mean, the last 3 games, and keep in mind, they're not playing in Jerry's World. They're
No,
playing
that's
in
over with.
Fayetteville.
Yeah,
They're
that's
playing
over
in
with.
Fayetteville. So
Yeah.
this goes back to the days of the Southwest Conference. I was worried that Taylor Green and that team would be checked out, right? But in a rivalry game of this magnitude, and with Petrino being the OC/head coach, I think he's going to rally at least Taylor. The one thing that would say, Joe, I can't have this bet is Taylor Green checked out. I don't think with Petrino, Taylor Green's checked out, because if Petrino gets another job or he stays in Arkansas, I'm going to make you a Heisman Trophy winner, kid, right? So I think you'll get that. I'll get you to the first round somehow, some way. So this offense with Mike Washington, I love it. Huh? Omega Blake. How about give me give me a little Omega. The Omega Blake. Omega Blake. I was on him for an anytime touchdown. Give me the Omega. Huh? I need the Omega. The last 3 games in the series have been decided by 6.7 points per game. Okay?
Okay.
Last year was 21-17. Look, I worry about the defense, but I also worry that Texas A&M has LSU on deck. Right, not saying it's a look ahead, but they have to go. To have LSU looming, and now you have another rivalry game coming off the emotional win now with Florida, knowing what they were able to do against Miss State. They have had a tough gauntlet, Texas A&M, and I just worry about that. Give me the points with Arkansas. Again, this is a more to doubt because I believe in Taylor Green, but I'm taking the points. Give me a little Omega Blake. The Omega.
All right, Joe. Pick number 4 for me. I'm gonna crack the egg here on the huge matchups this week. I'm gonna go 3:30 kick between the hedges, Georgia and Ole Miss. Georgia coming off. Now, look, Joe, I've done to you the last 2 weeks. I've sat here and given you the Joe. Are you looking at me? Georgia's going to smash.
Yeah.
And they got some favorable calls in the Auburn game, which were very helpful to us. We both like Georgia laying the points last week, and we were able to survive. And I saw somebody tweet at me Saturday night, Joe, oh, the refs. And I think you saw this tweet I put back, and it's so true. You know how many games we've lost because of refs? Yeah. I'll take a win because of the ref. I don't really care. I don't care which way it comes. That's the way that it goes sometimes. This is different, though, Joe. Huge game for both of these teams. You got Lane coming in. Ole Miss beat them last year. I think, Joe, this is a quasi, type of look. Ole Miss doesn't have a loss yet. Georgia's got one. They've already lost to Bama. You don't want to have another loss here against a team that's in the top 5, top 10. I think Georgia wins, Joe, but 7.5 is a little bit too much gas for me for what I think is going to be a close, tightly contested game. And the half makes a big deal here. There were some 7s earlier in the week, 7.5 right now as we talk. The hook makes the difference. I'm going to take Ole Miss and Lane, Joe, plus the 7.5. Don't think they win the game, but I think that this game's going to be close throughout because this game's going to have huge implications for the playoff.
Okay, so the last 2 games in Athens in the series, Georgia's won by 31 points per game.
Okay.
They've got 52-17 and a 37, I believe, 10 spot or 14 spot. So they've hammered them in Athens. I would be laying it with Georgia. I don't want to jump on this game in any capacity. So, but I would be on the other side. But that's me. I'll root it in for you to some capacity. Actually, I won't. I want Georgia to hammer them just because I need LSU to get back into the mix. So let's hope that you get it, but I'm against you.
Get it or but I'm against you. All right, Joe.
All right, ready? Another dog.
Go ahead.
This one's a more to doubt. I don't believe TCU should be favored over Baylor. I just don't. I know that they won 3 of the last 4 in the series, but Baylor, to me, won this game close last year, 37-34. We saw 2.5 inch into the market, got up to 3.5. We're back down, I believe, to 2.5 across multiple books. I believe in Sawyer Robertson. I believe in Baylor. I like this team. I love what they have at the wide receiver position. I just think that they are a much better team than TCU is right now. And for me, I'm taking the points. You want to give me the 2.5? Mortadell. Four Mortadells, all dogs. Mortadell. Baylor outright over TCU.
So Baylor, for the sake of the show, though, Joe, what is that right now? 1.5 or 2.5? What do they got Baylor at right now?
I see 2.5.
Two
Take it over. I got to blow my nose. I'm on an
All right.
antihistamine.
Baylor plus 2.5. Okay, I got you there, Joe. Joe's got to go. All right, next pick for me. And you know what? I'll get into this one because I'm sure that Joe's going to have something to say on it as well. I'm going to go to the next huge SEC game that we have on Saturday, and that is the night game between Tennessee and Alabama at Bryant-Denny. So last year, of course, Joe, I'm going to pick the Tennessee-Alabama game next. Just so you know, I'm
not on it.
All the big SEC games, Joe. I've got the two biggest ones on my card. Now, since Heupel's been there, Joe, you know, they've kind of been in the game. Now, the games in Knoxville have been close, and Tennessee has beaten them the last 2 times in Knoxville. But at Bryant-Denny, Joe, it's been a different story. Alabama's kind of had a handle on them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to touch this number, Joe. I kind of want to take Tennessee with the points, but I actually like the under.
Do you?
58.5. Last year was a 24-17 game. That was, of course, with the pretty, you know, obviously we have some different offensive pieces at quarterback. I understand that, but schemes and coaches all the same. I think under, Joe, 58.5. I think it's going to be just like the Ole Miss Georgia game. There's a lot on the line here, especially for Tennessee, who needs to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a little bit more. But even, you know, I say low scoring side, Joe. You know, 27-24. And this is an under. You know, 31-21, this is an under. You know, I don't think that both these teams get in the 30s in this game on Saturday night. So under 58.5, Joe, Alabama and Tennessee for me.
All right. I mean, I'll just say this. Bama had won every game from 2007 to 2021. Tennessee has won 2 of the last 3, including last year, 24-17. That was an under, I believe. So, you know, you're not wrong, you know, going. I would probably lean to the over, but I'm not playing it in any capacity. So it's a good look by you.
Like in the game?
I like the points. I can't believe I love all dogs this weekend. It's scary. Scary. I'm going to give you another dog. You ready for this?
Yeah.
So what am I on? Pick 6?
Correct. You got 2 left.
I think Syracuse is live against Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Again, Pittsburgh and Mason Heinsteichel have done a fantastic job. But the fact now of he's a freshman and he's living up to the hype. I get it. You know, 1 home win, 1 road win. You know, maybe they get all, you know, it's their first win over Florida State since Marino in 81. They're all high on themselves. Now they got to go to the Dome and they're laying, right? Aren't they?
Yeah, they're laying. I obviously don't have that in New York, but I went and checked somewhere else, and it's 10.5 I'm seeing.
I don't think they're 10.5 points better than Cuse.
Okay.
I just don't. I know they have an above-average defense and solid against the run, but I'm worried about Heinsteichel in that development. You know, we've seen veteran quarterbacks go in there. Darian Mensah had a great – Heinsteichel's not Darian Mensah yet. So I'm taking the points with Syracuse. I think that could be – don't be shocked.
Okay.
4-quarter game.
Okay. I obviously can't play the game, Joe, here in New York. No Syracuse for me, but I'll be rooting it in for you. Next one for me. Texas at Kentucky. Lots of SEC on my card this week, Joe. Big win for Texas last week. They needed it bad. I think Kentucky's awful, Joe. I think they're a bad team. I don't know. This could be the end for Stoops finally after this year. They might want to finally change some things up. Minus 12.5 for Texas. I don't expect Texas to go and win 45-0, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't think Texas has that in them, especially on the road. I think their defense is good enough after what I saw last week that they can hold Kentucky in the 10-14 range, keep it low scoring on there. And all I need is Arch and this crew to get me 31 points, 28 to 31 points. I think I could cover the 12.5. I'm going to lay the 12.5 with Texas, Joe, against Kentucky on the road in Lexington.
All right. Not a bit. I mean, Texas should be able to smash them. If you can't win after that victory, you got problems. in that matchup. All right,
Yeah.
I'm just looking last pick. Where am I going to go? Am I going to go with a total? Let me see. Let me just see. I'll give you a total. Let me see. I'm just looking across the board here.
Joe doesn't have all the picks lined up, huh?
No, I do. I'm looking at the movement here. I do have all the picks. I just want to see something. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Missouri laying 1.5 on the road. I want to take Missouri with Bo Prabula. I really do, in a big way. But I just can't pull the trigger because after losing the way they did to Alabama, it's scary to me. But what I can take is this over 43.5. Look, whenever Missouri and Auburn play, since they have some crazy games, I think they blow right through this total. Now I
Okay.
see 43.5 in the market. Give me over. I almost made this a mortadell. It's a late kick on the plains, but over
Okay.
43.5. Missouri and Auburn, pick number 7.
All right, there you go. Last one for me, Joe, and I see Jamie wrote there. Texas will come out flat in Lexington. I'm actually thinking the opposite, Jamie. Honestly, I feel like the Oklahoma win last week is going to hopefully re-energize their season, make them think that they are back in this thing, make them think that if they could string off a bunch of wins and play some good football, they can get back into the mix. So I think it's going to be the opposite. I don't think they come out flat after Oklahoma. I think that they realize that they have gas back in the tank after beating Oklahoma. That's part of it for me. Last one for me, Joe. You see it behind me. I love the Holy War. I love it. It's always a fun get together, and everybody's pumping up Utah now. Everybody's pumping up Utah. They're the team. Them and Texas Tech in the Big 12. It's gonna come down to them. Blah 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 blah. Joe, you could throw the records out, and both teams been good. Listen, Sataki's been good so far this year. BYU, Joe, what are they ranked 12th, undefeated?
Yeah.
Right? They're getting at home here. Plus 3.5. And I get what you're saying. Oh, Utah's the much better team. Look at where this line is. 3.5. They're getting 3.5 at home. Utah's going to smash them. Joe, crazy things. Okay, hero. He says, okay, hero. Crazy things happen in the Holy War, Joe. Just like last year, 22-21, that wild game in Salt Lake. I want the points in the Holy War no matter who's getting them. Plus 3.5 at home. BYU, Joe, for me on Saturday night.
No, hey, I mean, we've seen Sataki do a fantastic job. Bachmeyer and that team are battle tested. They step up and they make plays. And, you could always say, I mean, Whittingham back to basics. It's going to be up. Can they contain Dampier? And if they can, they have a good shot. I will say West Virginia, they were so inexperienced at the skill positions, but the RPO game gave BYU defensive issues at times in that game. So keep an eye out for Dampier because if he does break in day, it could be a long day. I said it, not him.
I said it. All right. So Joe, recap before we rapid fire through some other stuff. For me, Boston College minus 1.5, South Carolina plus 5.5, Duke minus 1.5, Ole Miss plus the 7.5, Bama and the Vols under 58.5, Texas minus 12.5, and BYU plus the 3.5. Joe, Arizona State plus 7.5, LSU plus 2.5, SMU plus 5.5, Hogs, Arkansas plus 7.5, Baylor plus 2.5, the Orange plus 10.5. Bark, 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 bark.
Dogs are barking.
And Auburn, Mizzou over to 43.5. The Carver and Lisi picks for college football week 8. All right, rapid fire, Joe. You ready?
Good. Yep.
Friday night, you laying 13.5 with big chest Mario Cristobal against Louisville. That's a big game on Friday night.
This is a game that Mario loses. I'm sorry.
Loses.
Friday night under the lights, 13.5. They should smash him. Jeff Brom is great as a dog. He didn't cover this game last year, but his offense put up 45 on that defense last year. Something tells me they're going to break out in this game. Okay. I'm taking the points.
All right. Nebraska minus 7.5 on the road at Minnesota Friday night. Got all the rule stuff now. Penn State.
And Minnesota owns Nebraska. Minnesota. It's back-to-back road games.
Yeah,
Uh, no, I mean, I would lay it, but reluctantly.
I
I,
take it.
I,
I'm taking it with Minnesota plus 7.5. Give me the Gophers. That's gonna be an ugly game, Joe.
if you're Matt
13,
Rule, don't
10.
you want to make the college football playoff? Don't you?
Yeah, I mean, of course you want to, but the door's kind of being swung open with Penn State being finished, and there's some opportunity there. Who do they got left? Or do they play any of the big one? Do they play who does Nebraska got?
They had Michigan.
They lost to Michigan, so that's unfortunate for them.
No,
Do
but
they
they
got
don't.
any other?
Let me see.
Nah, the USC at home, and they're at Penn State, which now but no Ohio State, no Indiana. They won out. It's not impossible, Joe.
I know.
It's not impossible for them if they won out, but they'd have to win out. Where else can I go? Saturday noon kickoff for Washington at the Big House against Michigan. Michigan minus 5.5 with a 50.5 total.
I like this Damon Williams. I like Washington. They got their first road win in the Jeff Fish era a few weeks ago against Maryland. I would take the points, but the fact that, I could see Michigan winning this game 27-20 also. It's just a game. Last time Washington was there, they got smashed on a primetime matchup, remember?
Yep. Smashed. I mean, absolutely smashed. This game almost made my card, Joe. I do want to bring it up. If this was earlier in the week and it was 3 still or 3.5, whatever it was, I would have took it. But now down to 2.5, I'm not as in on it. I think Purdue can win outright at Northwestern on Saturday. Northwestern, the huge upset at Penn State. Catch them sleepy a little bit. Odom going in there, but I don't know if I want to do it at 2.5. 3 or 3.5, Joe, I think I would have, but I left it off at 2.5.
All right. I mean, you really like that team, don't you?
Purdue, I've had a couple hits with them. They've gotten me a couple.
You've been on Purdue. It's just like the way you were last year when you took Odom with UNLV every week.
Yeah.
It's a no play. I mean,
no play. Yeah. I mean, look, if I get in some crazy alt parlays on Saturday, I might throw Purdue up to 3.5 or something like that.
Would you?
Yeah.
You know what Big Ten game almost made the card for me?
Oh boy,
was Wisconsin with the huge.
Well, I'll go there next. 25.5.
I mean, this Luke Fickell is terrible, guys. God, he is so gutless.
Luke Fickell.
He is gutless.
Terrible.
He is
brutal. All right, so I don't want anything to do with Ohio State and Wisconsin, Joe. Just so you know, that game's nowhere near. Indiana off a huge win. You want to lay 27.5?
No, I would take it with Smith in that spot. The fact that Smith didn't realize what he was getting into, and then the guy Bray gets smashed when he has no talent in Oregon. I mean, I understand he was terrible, but what did you expect when the Pac-12 left those guys high and dry?
Oh.
I mean, you don't give the guy at least 3 years to get recruits in there.
Yeah, that's now or never, Joe. Now or never. That's
unbelievable.
For sure. How about interesting game? UNLV 6-0 to the Blue Turf, getting 12.5. Everybody's on UNLV. 80% of the tickets, 75% of the bets. Every 5 of the money, the bets. Everybody's on UNLV, Joe.
He's another one that's being mentioned.
I just got there. The guy hasn't unpacked. He's already leaving.
What was the big game that Dan Mullen won in Florida and Mississippi State? I don't know. I mean,
already unpacked.
I probably would lay it with Boise.
Okay.
Just because UNLV's defense.
You just want to do that because everyone's on UNLV.
No, I mean, now we're praising the guy.
Can we get the over 62.5?
Built that.
You want to go up 62.5?
No, under.
Okay. Yeah. We kind of mentioned Napier earlier. How do you lay 9.5 with Florida with this Napier stuff going on? I can't do it.
I mean,
it's Mississippi State or nothing for me, Joe.
Yeah.
Game. I can't.
I'm not gonna bet that game.
Oregon laying 17.5 in Piscataway.
I would take the 17.
Yeah. All right.
I would take the 17.
Another game like really off the radar that almost made my card,
Yeah.
but I didn't do it because everybody's on them. Colorado State -2.5 at home against Hawaii. I like Colorado State a lot. They showed that last week they got going at home. Who'd they thump on Friday night? I forget who it was. They destroyed somebody as a dog at home on Friday night. Is it Fresno State, Joe? I think they beat up at home last Friday night. And you get Hawaii. I always love playing against Hawaii, making the long trip. I kind of like Colorado State. I probably should have put it on the card.
How about the over?
53.5?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, sure. We can go
Gutless.
there. Iowa -2.5 against Penn State Saturday night.
I can't do it. Come on.
Can't.
Backup quarterback. And that defense has sucked under Jim Knowles.
Yeah.
They haven't been good.
This game caught my eye, too, because the total 73.5. FAU and USF. Now, I noticed it. I heard this of the USF schedule earlier today, Joe. They obviously had the huge game with North Texas last week where they completely demolished them on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, they're playing Memphis, which is a massive game, Joe, for that group of 5 spot. Will they be a little sleepy here, laying 3 tutties and a hook against FAU, who could score a lot of points? 73.5?
That game should, they coming off a 63 spot against North Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's light. Should we alt that to 90?
Alt it up?
You wanna?
90?
Why not?
How about the 21.5? You can't do it?
No, I can't do
with
it.
the Owls? No
Can't
Owls.
do it. Won't do it, can't do it.
All right, neither of us have brought this up yet, probably for good reason, because neither of us want to touch it. Lincoln Riley brings the Trojans into South Bend on Saturday night.
I can't.
Joe, this was, 9.5 for Notre Dame. 61.5 the total. Everyone's on USC with the points.
I'm going to lay it.
I think I'd lay it too.
I think they're going to run all over them.
I think the line says they're going to crush them. And we've talked about this in these Big Ten games. When USC travels east, that we've seen these spots. It's not as pretty. And as good as their offense is, I don't like them in these spots, Joe. I think it's Notre Dame or nothing.
Smashed.
I think it's Notre Dame or nothing.
I agree.
And the Irish now, they know the prize, Joe. They get through this. They just got to win out, and they're going to be in it. Whether you like it or not, Notre Dame's going to be in at 10-2. You know it. You're smirking, but you know it's true. They're going to be in. You know it, Joe.
They shouldn't be in. They shouldn't be in.
Especially if Miami and Texas A&M are in the playoff also. They're going to be in. You know it, Joe. You want to lay 21.5 with Cincinnati and Stillwater? Not particularly, even though Oklahoma State's awful. You want to lay 17.5 with Florida State in the late night bailout blowout game in Palo Alto against Tree. You would?
Yes.
Stanford's that bad.
Yep.
They are that awful.
They should get smashed in this game.
Okay. Joe likes that. So there you go. The Carver and Lisi college football picks for week number 8, running through all the games. Joe, this is a great week.
I can't wait.
I
can't wait. Can't wait.
Great week.
I'm excited.
Now, we will do just like we did last week, Joe. We will turn this one off, and everybody who's watching, you can pop right back on. We're going to put the NFL graphics back up, and we'll do the NFL picks for week number 7.
Sounds
right,
good.
Joe? Week